The Philippines and the ASEAN leaders expressed confidence that China shall abide by the decision of the United Nations-appointed ITLOS panel, who shall attempt to resolve the territorial dispute between the Philippines and China. More of this from E.O. Galvez.
The Philippines and ASEAN leaders are optimistic that China will abide by the international law of territorial dispute. They are also hopeful that China will cooperate in resolving the maritime claim in the West Philippine Sea. In the just concluded ASEAN summit in Brunei, a peaceful resolution in the contested area was called by the ASEAN leaders. The International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea has completed a 5-man arbitration panel on the case filed by the Philippine government against China on the disputed area. During the ASEAN summit held in Cambodia last year, President Aquino pushed for a legally binding code of conduct of parties in the South China Sea.
It's good for the Philippines, obviously, because it will serve to define what is ours. It will serve to support what we are entitled to in terms of our fishing rights, in terms of our enforcement of our laws in those areas, and in terms of the fact that we are entitled to these areas in accordance with the EEZs as provided by the UNCLOS to us. And lastly, he also emphasized the need for all countries to appreciate the benefits of this article, because it does provide a resolution to the threats that's offered by, or it removes the threat of, or it supports the freedom of navigation.
Philippines maintains its position of a rules-based approach on the issue. Secretary Del Rosario said that a military response is not an option despite China's attempt to establish a de facto occupation of the Scarborough Shoal.
They're saying to China that we need to do this, we need to ensure that these instruments are being properly implemented and being discussed, so that we can ensure ourselves of the peace and security and stability which is necessary for the continued prosperity of the region.
And suggested that ASEAN foreign ministers meet first before going to Beijing for a solid manifestation on the issue.
We have been ready to discuss this at the SOM level. As you know, the fundamental elements have been worked out a long time ago, but China has taken the position that the time was not ripe. We're hoping that the time now is ripe.
Meanwhile, Secretary Del Rosario admitted that the Sabah issue was not discussed in the summit.
There was no discussion at all on regarding the Sabah conflict. The foreign minister was not present. The prime minister also was not present. I understand they were busy during elections in Malaysia.
This is E.O. Galvez for News at 1, Junior Edition.